There you go. Now we can start.
Now we can start. Beers are open, they're flowing. Greetings and welcome to Old Drunken Discography. Today we are talking Alice in Chains. If this is your first video here watching this, well, I apologize. Go back and we are a playlist channel. Go check out our playlist because we've already covered 5 out of 6 records, plus some notable releases along the way. This is our current rankings. Obviously, I'm the odd man out because I like dirt more than tripod, but the color code will tell all, which will be at the end of this episode. I'm Jason. With me is Tim.
That's me.
And Bill.
Oh, that's me.
And we are talking Rainier Fog. It is our last record in the discography. And I will start this one off.
We're not sponsored, but we'd love to be.
We'd love to be. ExpressVPN, hit us up.
Rainier.
Especially for us Texas folks.
Only the finest.
Rainier Fog. Tim?
Okay, so I remember when this one came out. I was living in the shadow of Rainier when this album came out. And I actually have a fun story. It actually happened before this album came out. Probably should have mentioned it on the last album. But I was going to a show at the world famous Crocodile Cafe, and I'm waiting in line, and all of a sudden somebody cuts in line, like right when I'm about to like give them my ID so I get the bracelet and like get into the show and whatnot. Somebody cuts in line in front of me. And it's Sean Kinney from Alice in Chains. And so obviously I'm like, yeah, dude, go right ahead.
No, man, I'd be like, no cuts, motherfucker. No cuts.
And it was pretty funny. The dude checking IDs checked his ID, had no idea who he was. And so he went in, like, because his ID was valid or whatever. And we were all like, that was that drummer from Alice in Chains, right? And he immediately got his little walkie-talkie. I believe Sean Kinney just walked into the building. VIP, blah, blah, blah. It's pretty funny. But yeah, I actually just hanging out had Sean Kinney cut in front of me in line. And I thought that was pretty cool. So
I'd be like, no cuts, motherfucker.
Right. But yeah, getting to this album, the production's good. It sounds great. It sounds like Alice in Chains, but I think at this point we're the third album in with Duvall, and I don't think we're getting anything new. We're not getting any different flavors. We're going to continue to try to chase the past. We're going to continue to try to sound like Alice in Chains. And, yeah, I mean, there's a couple good songs on here, like the opener, The One You Know. It's decent. But really, my next note doesn't even show up until So Far Under, where I'm like, that's a cool riff. I like Never Fade. I thought Never Fade was pretty good. But the rest of the album just sounds like the last two to me. Damn. And if you threw any of those up against any of those albums off the last two, I'd be like, oh, I don't know what album that's from.
Man, I could not be the furthest opposite from you.
Okay, well, that's good.
God.
Yeah, no, this one left me lacking.
Damn.
Sounds good, and there's some great songwriting and playing, and there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
And I'm just not hearing anything new or exciting.
I think, yeah, you're right. There's nothing new here, but it feels more comfortable. I feel like this is the record that they finally clicked with Duvall, and this is what the band should sound like in 2018.
Sure, okay.
The One You Know, holy shit, what a cool ass opening track. It's heavy, it's pounding you in the face. It can go pretty. It can go melodic. It's soaring as well. It's
This was actually the one where I really kind of like had to question, like, okay, yeah, it's 2018. What's the state of hard rock? And yeah, like the production on this one and the production on like the last 3 or 4 Ozzy albums are pretty close.
yeah. I don't know who produced this one, but it's
I can find out real quick.
I liked
Nick
I liked the opening track.
Raskulunix, the same guy who did the Devil Puts the Dinosaurs Here.
Okay.
And I think he did In Your Honor by the Foo Fighters. I think that's where he got into that, where he got in on that train.
Yeah, I mean a lot of records post 2005 are copying In Your Honor.
Yeah.
At least in the rock genre. But
yeah, let's see what his actual credits are here real quick.
I thought the vocals were fantastic. Rainier Fog, the second track, is great as well. Red Giant, damn good hard rock for 2018. For radio rock, fucking Red Giant is killer. I love the blowing up like a red giant expansive star. I'm coming down to burn this and laugh my ass off line.
So the same year he produced Rainier Fog, Nick Raskulunix also produced Hailstorm's Vicious.
I don't know what you just said.
I mean, Hailstorm, they're like a new metal band. They're very reminiscent of that late 80s, early 90s glam rock. Female singer, so people gravitate. So it's just very glam rock for 21st century. Radio rock.
Okay.
Very radio friendly.
Yeah, very radio friendly. Very Def Leppard, Skid Row, Bon Jovi.
Yep.
Well, what else is left in 2018 on the mainstream
I don't know,
radio?
but I was wrong. He jumped in on the Foo Fighters bandwagon on One by One.
Which, again, falls in that same category you just said, though.
Yeah. Yeah?
We'll get it. We'll do a special ODD episode on what the fuck happened to music after 1999.
Well, it would have been 96, and that would have been the Telecommunications Act.
Well, yeah, we don't.
But yeah, well, that's a whole nother episode.
We'll get to 1996. But here we are talking about Rainier Fog, Fly. I think it slows down a little bit, but it was still pretty great. Drone was pretty cool. It ain't no rise against drones, but it started out sludgy. It had some acoustic tempo changes that were neat. Deaf Eye, Ears Blind was fine. It didn't really stand out. Maybe something new. I'm liking this. It does feel more like Pearl Jam than Alice in Chains.
Maybe that's where I went wrong on this album. Maybe it's just a little too generic grunge.
That's it's Pearl Jam. Go check out our Pearl Jam new album review for Dark Matter.
It's a banger.
It does feel more like Pearl Jam than Alice in Chains, but that's a good thing for me. The vocals were amazing. Really highlights how well
it's a
Jerry.
good thing for you, but it's not a good thing for Alice in Chains.
It's a good. Hey, I mean, a lot of people like Pearl Jam. Fuck off. The vocals are really good, though. I think this really highlights how well Duvall and Cantrell work together. Like they sound together really well. Yeah. Super pretty melody. Top song contender. So Far Under, I love the vocals. The guitars matching the melody and tone. Almost sound like the same instrument at times. Brilliant song from Duvall. Never Fade, album doesn't slouch on the back half. Still sounding like a lot like Backspacer or maybe Lightning Bolt Pearl Jam. but it's pretty damn good. All I Am, 7-minute closer, but it's the only long one on here, so I'm okay with it. I like the Have Another Go, My Friend. You can't see you see I Can't Feel Anymore. Pretty good shit. This is the first post Lane album to me where it feels like they're 100% comfortable as a band. Super solid. My interest peaked on what they do after this. It makes me feel bad for sleeping on the later half of the discography this long. This album as a whole gets tighter and more solid. Like, this was a pretty solid record. As far as, you got to put it in the context too. It's a grunge band surviving in the
Sure.
2010s.
Sure.
So they may have changed singers. I think this is where they could fit that Pearl Jam mold. If they could just get past the people like the Lane Staley, the mainstream, if they can get past that wall, it's a pretty fucking solid record.
That's a pretty high wall, though.
Yeah. It
is a fucking tough wall. Trust me. Yeah, it's a fucking tough wall.
That's a little bit more than just a wall there. Like, that's like a cliffside.
Well, yeah, and we're here at the end. I think it's safe to say at this point, like, there is nothing wrong with these 3 Duvall albums. They're all perfectly fine. But they're all absolutely lacking something intangible that are abundantly present on the 3 Lane albums.
They're lacking that realism, that connection with the lyrics of the dude.
I've been thinking about it for a couple days now. I think it's the way Lane would phrase things.
It was very Shakespearean. I picked up on a lot of Shakespearean type, going back and watching, listening to it on Spotify and reading the lyrics. Like, that motherfucker used thine. Nobody used the word thine. That's crazy. And made it sound fucking great. Duvall's competent, though. I mean, he's a great singer. I think him and Jerry together sound phenomenal.
Yep, and I like the flavor he brings to this band.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
he rocks. He's great. He's competent, but
he replaced a legend, and that legend is unfortunately really hard to deny.
Yeah.
And I think he's doing a fantastic job. And if those first 3 albums didn't exist and all we had were these albums, they'd be one of the biggest rock bands in the world right now.
Yep.
Because they're doing the radio rock better than anybody on the radio.
I can definitely agree with that.
Which, even if those...
But the problem is those first 3 albums do exist.
Mm-hmm.
And, I hate to be one of those guys where it's like, well, the magic's gone or whatever. But it is. And, they're 30 years into their career now. They've gotten comfortable.
Yeah.
They've got a sound. They've got a fan base that expects something from them. So there's a lot of factors.
So saying that, where would you rank it?
Well, I'm going to be putting it last.
Okay.
And I think you're going to put it above Black Gives Way to Blue.
You are correct.
And I think Bill is going to put it below Facelift.
As much as it pains me to put it above the Dinosaur, yes.
I know that hurts, right? Such a great concept. Such a great fucking album title, album cover. They missed the mark on it.
Oh gosh, yeah.
So we are all over the place on the
We're a
Duvall
little
albums.
all over the place.
At the end.
This made me lock in more with the Duvall. The first one was like a solo Jerry album. The second one was like, what the fuck are y'all doing? The third one is like, okay, yeah, y'all feel comfortable now. There's some good shit on here. Color coding wise though, that tells all. This is my pick. Every week we rotate out who's going to pick an artist. Stay tuned next week. It's Tim's pick with Queens of the Stone Age, I believe.
Sweet.
So,
I'm ready to go. My notes are done.
Yeah, well, I still got some albums to listen to. After that, it's Bill's pick, which will be what, Bill?
Nickelback.
Stick around
I'm going to start that now.
Yeah, that's a big one, dude. That's like a 2-weeker.
Oh yeah.
All right. Mine are gonna be. Let me look at my color code. Somebody else start talking while.
Well, let me ask you guys: do you want me to go as positive as I can, or as negative as I can?
So, the actual question is: are you doing Alice in Chains in relative to Alice in Chains, or Alice in Chains relative to what else was that year?
Well, exactly.
That is your own discretion. Fuck me. My notes did
For
not.
what it's worth, Tim, I'm going to be doing Alice in Chains relative to Alice in Chains for my ranking. For my color code, I should say.
Okay. That would be on my negative end.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. I can do that.
All right, well, I'll do mine. And according to my notes, it's green. Green. That's my notes.
That was my positive notes.
It's a solid discography. Like, there's not a bad record. I definitely say you should start with Dirt, and then go from there. But
I mean, Dirt would be a solid starting place, just because that's the one that was really blasted on the radio more than all the other albums.
It is the most popular one for sure.
Yep. The Tripod is slightly better this week.
Jar of Flies, though.
Yeah, shout Jar of Flies and Unplugged. You really want to start somewhere.
Jar of Flies is like a cross between Dirt and Tripod that just, it's like the perfect mix.
Yep.
All right, Tim. Well, Bill, what about you?
Oh, we'll go jump into me?
Yeah. Since Tim's questioning positive or negativity here.
Well, no, I already picked which one I'm doing, so.
I'm going to go green, and then I'm going to go yellow.
Oh, man. I still say fucking...
It's...
Rainier's the best of all record, I think.
And then...
That's the beauty of those records, I think.
Again,
we all have a different opinion of them.
Yep.
And as I said, I'm doing this relative to Alice in Chains itself. We're going to go red for the dinosaur. Because you could do without listening to that. If you wanted to listen to Alice in Chains, you could do without that album, I feel.
Yeah, I think I'm going to put a caution on mine, actually. I don't know if my ink ran over or what, but I'm gonna put a caution on Dinosaurs. It pains me because it's such a cool fucking album theme.
I mean, it is, but like it's they do. I
They
mean,
do a lot of weird shit that doesn't.
the Lane Staley
It's too
stuff
long.
is a lot better.
It is like
Like
15
there
minutes
has
too
to
long.
be some sort of divide.
Yeah. All right, Tim.
So just Alice in Chains again. This I would have agreed with you if you had if we had chosen the positive, I'd be all greens. These are all great albums. But since we're being since we're being picky, 1 and 2 are green, and then the rest are yellow.
Oh shit.
Jar of Flies and Unplugged are both absolutely green, mandatory.
Yeah, you should definitely check out the fucking notable releases.
Yeah.
I mean,
But on this discography, you need the 2, and then the rest are proceed with caution.
that's
I get it.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I mean, I could see that. I'm more positive. I think Duvall
I think
For-
he's doing a great job.
for
Oh,
the
yeah.
position
Yeah,
he's
I have
put
no
in.
complaints.
Yeah,
Well,
he's doing much better than whoever is singing for the Stone Temple Pilots now. I just don't.
I mean,
I
is anybody singing for Stone Temple Pilots now?
don't know. When was the last album they put out? I don't fucking know. But
Yeah.
we'll get to Stone Temple Pilots. They're one of the big.
I can't wait.
They're one of the big 5 of grunge. Stick
Aren't they
around. We're doing our top songs. Alice in Chains.
Nothing
Like-
but bangers.
Like, subscribe. You know what, Bill? You're getting a slap just for me having to say. I'm gonna say fucking Guns N' Roses. I can say it freely now. You're getting a slap just for that.
Understandable.
All right.
I don't blame
Like, subscribe, whatever. Be safe. Make good decisions.
Like not subscribing.
That's not a good decision.